Today on this episode of this big house, we're gonna take this studio where we practice and do our dance practicing and that kind of stuff, and we're gonna pick that whole wall and make it an endless green screen, white screen wall. That's why you can see that I am in my work clothes. This is our practice studio, so we do most of the damage that we do in life is in this room. All the equipment's out and it's in the other room. The endless wall will be about 20 feet long right now, and the floor will be all either white or green, coming out to about here where that sunlight is, and then that will be the whole wall. It'll start from the top of that ceiling and go all the way down to about where that light's at. So anyway, I'm gonna GoPro this in a second on stop motion, and that way you can watch me build the whole thing in my wonderful jogging pants. All right? Action! Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take basically liquid nails, but it's a different kind of adhesive, and we are going to take these 2x4s that I actually found in the backyard because they're free. They used to do some cement work here at the house, and I'm going to adhere them to, this is stucco that I'm actually putting this to, and since I don't want to mess up the stucco, so if we decided to remove this, actually after we adhere it there, I can actually take that, pull it off with a crowbar, sand down a little bit, retexture. Okay, so now we're finally at the part where we're going to start hanging the sheetrock, and let me show you what we're doing here. So we're going to come down, we're going to take this all-purpose joint compound, this big-ass 5. The reason I got this big-ass 5 is because that's what we're going to stick it to the wall with. So we got our 2x4s, the floor glued in, and what we're going to do is we're going to put big globs of all-purpose joint compound on top of this plywood, and we're going to stick it on this wall. And then we're going to use stuff like this to lean against it so it don't fall down until it dries. Now the reason I put this 2x4 down here and stuck it on here instead of just sticking this directly to the wall is twofold. One, I'm going to have about maybe a 2-inch gap up top. I'm going to fill that full of mud, and then after it dries, sand it out so it's smooth. And that gave me, that fixed some of my gap because I would have had a 4-inch gap. But, and the other thing is when I start adding the rounded corners to make it the endless wall, so it'll come down and round like this. That's what we're going to use this wood for right here, because this wood bends. You can see how it bends. So I'll use that wood to bend around the forms I'm going to make. But what we did is I glued that there, and that way when I build the forms, I can just drill my other 2x4s that are going to hold my forms into that 2x4 that's already glued down, and then also glue the floor 2x4s down with Gorilla Glue. So that's the plan. Okay, so here you can see that I've got my big piles of goo drywall compound on the back of the plywood, on the back of the sheetrock. Now I'm going to stick it to that wall. now the templates for my forms, which is going to make the wall curve right there, and you can see right here on here, I got it all set up. Here is my, got here, I figured out a way to actually make, it's the one that's not crossed out. I actually figured out a way to make it curve right, and I'll kind of show you what I did. I held that down there, I measured my string out 16 inches, and then I just ran the string along like that. So that made my curve of motion. Hope you can get that. But that's what I did right here. As you can see, I have my dot, I held the string there, I put the pin on the end of the string at 16 inches, and I just drew around and it made that curve. So now this line right here will be my template, and then I'll cut all the rest of them off that. I need 8, so 1 every 2 Okay, so I built the forms and I got the wrong type of wood, so I'll show you. I got the corners here, I kind of went smaller than what I probably should have. I probably should have went with the big 2-foot ones, but I didn't want to take up all that room with the corners because the ceiling's not that high, so I did it a different way. I'm not regretting it too bad. But the first wood I actually bought was this little thin plywood here that I used for our couch in our living room, and I didn't think it would work. So I bought this stuff, and this stuff pissed me off so bad that I actually decided I'd punch a hole in it. So this is not going to work, this little cheesy stuff. But then I was watching this tutorial video because I was bending plywood the wrong way. You got to bend it. I was going to cut it in half and go 2 feet, 2 feet there, then 2 feet there, one piece of 4x8 plywood. But you bend it in long ways, it won't bend. You bend it short ways where it's 4 foot wide. And this is a scrap I have from the couch. And put up here. Anyhow, you bend it short ways and it bends fine. So I took that back, the piece I had, and bought this junk. This didn't work. This will work fine. So I just went and bought another sheet of it, which is about $13 at where at? Not Best Buy, Lowe's. So anyhow, and this will bend there, and then it might crack, but that don't matter. I can knock that out, so I'm not worried about cracking. Okay, so it's finished, and it's New Year's Eve, going to be 2015, in about 2 hours. The band's heading over here, and I just finished this about an hour ago. So Right now it's just primer on there. As you can see, the floor's not done because I haven't figured out if my first shoot's gonna be with green screen or widescreen. These are my little strobe lights. But you come over here. That's it. Oh, one more thing. Like I say on all my videos, like and subscribe and comment.
Action!